Okay, so for anyone that is looking for a reading, you can best find that in Zoom. You'll have to join us in Zoom. The Zoom is the link is in the Zoom. So let me just put the link in the description. Hey, Patty, great to see you, Patty. I'm about to share the Zoom event right now. Okay, let me do that.
3 when she passed away
All
from
right.
suicide, but she
So there we go. There we go. Welcome
self-inflicted
everyone. There's our
around
live
the neck, you know what I mean?
broadcast.
That makes perfect sense because right where I was feeling it is where the one artery is.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
You
where
should
I
be able to
think
hear it
you're
just
probably
fine. And if
feeling
you're
that.
looking to join, if you look in
That
the
makes perfect
comments,
sense
you'll be able
then,
to see
yes.
a link and you can join us in Zoom.
And I get the sense that she was in a lot of emotional pain at the time,
Yeah.
not physical pain, but emotional pain.
Yeah, she was, sorry, you go. You go.
Seemed to think that that was the answer. And kind of like as soon as she did it was kind of like, oh crap.
Yeah.
I expected. And the thing that has been harder for her to process and to work through on the other side is kind of trying to heal the pain that your family was caused by her leaving that way.
Yeah. I mean, she was probably a big catalyst in my mom's death as well. You know, my mom's side of the family have a whole host of issues, but unfortunately, her and my mom were abused by their stepfather at the time. And that was one of the main catalysts as to why she had chosen to leave this earth at the age of 23 in a mental facility. She wasn't well. And I don't know too much about it because she passed away before I was even a thought, you know. But my mom suffered a lot for it. You know, she always, I mean, still pretty much up until her death, cried about her sister. So, you know, she loved her. And my middle name is Donna after her. So,
She also your mom seems to feel like she should have been able to save her sister and didn't.
yeah, I think my mom had a pretty, she was really close with Donna. And, you know, I don't know. I'm not so sure because my mum wouldn't say too much about it when she was alive. I think it's just too painful for her to talk about. But, you know, I know she was in a mental health facility, and when she passed, my mum had to go work in the army to pay basically for a funeral and all of that. And it caused a lot of suffering for my mum and also just for the family in general. And, you know, yeah, I think John has always been around me, but it's good to hear her because this is just probably the second or third time she's popped through.
Well, she and your mom are together,
I'm glad.
and you know, I think that she's helped your mom to understand that there was nothing your mother could have done
Yeah,
to change the situation.
yeah,
And so sometimes healing doesn't come on this side when it comes to suffering from losses like that. But mom now knows and is at peace that they're together and that she knows that her sister knows she did all she could and doesn't blame her.
yeah. Can I ask you a question, Jamie?
Sure.
Before my mom passed, there was an update to a will, and I want to know if she was manipulated while she was in a poor cognitive state to create any things, because I've had her come before, like in readings and saying like manipulation, but I just want to make sure like that's something she feels, because, or is coming through, right? Because like or maybe you can't see, or maybe you can, but yeah, like I have a heavy sense that there was manipulation around her illness at the time to try and create channels of money for other people in my family.
Yeah, I get this. What I'm seeing is not real clear as to what's happening. May I ask if the paper that it was written on was a handwritten paper? Because what I'm seeing is something that may not have been typed up, but would have been handwritten.
Yeah, so I think what had happened was my uncle, who was a lawyer and manager of my mum's estate,
That that
took
that
instructions from her
Mm.
on a
That's
piece of written
my
paper,
vibe was, that it was handwritten
but she
and
never.
not
The thing,
necessarily signed while in a state in a like, it could, if you were to contest something, the timing of it relating to her mental cognition would be the key things to bring into the process.
well, the thing is that he was the one, I think, taking the notes, and he went home to type it up on the computer quickly to print it out to get her to sign it, but she had actually gone into a coma.
Yeah, she had died, or was no longer functional before that happened.
Yeah.
So she was not able to sign it, which renders it invalidated.
Mm.
Her timing was perfect. I'm
I
hearing
think,
my timing was perfect. If I had to go into a coma, that was the time to do it, rather than after he had died.
I know, I'm pretty glad. Yeah. Yeah, good timing, Mum.
It's one of those things where I think I get the sense that on a subconscious level, she may have felt like she didn't have much choices if he was kind of her like in charge of her whole finances and everything relating to her care.
Yeah, my mum's passing was very quick. And although we knew she was dying of liver failure, it had progressed from like 6 months to all of a sudden within like 2 weeks she had passed away. And you know, during that time completely lost her mental cognition. She didn't know who I was. um so I question this, he keeps trying to bring up in the argument for the money, like this will, but it wasn't signed, it wasn't dated. And I'm like, you know what? My mum didn't know who I was. So how could she have made that? So that's why I keep asking myself, like, I don't think she was there to make those decisions.
Yes, that's what I'm getting, that and that she didn't really feel like she had any choices in her care, but her timing on going in, it's like if she had to go, going before that stuff happened, or going into that coma state. I get the
Mm.
sense she wasn't in a coma long.
No, I think it was maybe 2 or 3 days max. She died on New Year's Day. And because she always told me, she's like, I'm going to make it to 51. And, she was 50 at the time, and her birthday's in May the next year. So she died on New Year's Day for that reason. And I think she's in the coma maybe from the 30th. Mm. So good timing.
Sense is that on a subconscious level, she had an awareness that something wasn't right, and may have been like, "You're not going to swindle me," kind of she knew she wasn't going to make it, but she could at least take and avoid having to sign something she didn't want to sign if she just allowed herself to let nature take its course rather than fighting harder to stay conscious.
Yeah, I kind of had that feeling, but I didn't know. I was like, it's come through before in readings, like the word manipulation. And I felt that too, like, I'm like, that's not something my mum would do. She was a calculated woman. She's very intelligent. She was a lawyer, so she knows all of that stuff. And I don't think that's something my mum would do on a deathbed, essentially. So yeah, anyway, thank you again for, helping me understand a bit more and knowing that my aunt and my mum are together and healing on the other side.
Thank you. I'm glad it's been helpful.
Thanks, Jamie.
Alice, you want to bring somebody else up?
I was looking at Carrie Kolinsky. Welcome, Carrie. Yay. I know I could sense your Carrie, I could sense your hope. You're like sitting there with strong hope. You can't unmute until I give you permission. There you go. She's like standing there, like she's like,
Sorry, thank
you
you.
you were praying. You were praying to yourself, weren't you, Carrie?
Like, I don't
No.
understand. I'm like looking up at my ceiling and I'm like, why is it doing that? Like, there's no, like, nothing is changing at all. I'm like, oh my God, what is happening? I was like, I hope she can see this.
Yes,
I'm like,
I
was
just noticing the changes in the lighting.
Yeah, and like I sit here, like even when I don't move, because I thought at first it's because I'm moving, because it does that, but then when I get still, it moves in and out. You know what I mean? I'm like, I hope somebody can see this.
Yes. You have some people.
Is there 3?
Yeah,
I've been told by quite a few people that there's 3. There's always 3 with me.
There's 3 there's 3 that seem to be in that gap space.
Yeah.
I also seem to see a little angel. Have you had any miscarriages or losses of babies?
Yes.
Okay, because I seem to see a little angel like right above you.
Yes.
Which is separate from those other 3 that seem to be more adult humans.
Yes, it's my father, my brother, and one of my best friends.
Yes. Did one of them drive truck?
No.
Okay.
My dad drove a Jeep, which I have, but there was no truck drivers.
Okay. So I was seeing some sort of a truck, like a trucker cap, and
oh yeah, they both wore different kinds of hats, like baseball hats, and
I usually there's something.
My grandfather wore a trucker hat, like one of the really old, like from like the 80s. I say old because it is. One of those. My grandfather used to wear those.
Yeah, because I definitely seeing the trucker cap type of thing on the one person. And for some reason, when I see that type of cap, I usually think of a trucker with a long haul or local delivery type. That's why I was wondering if they were trucker or just like to wear that kind of hat.
Yeah, he loved those hats. I have one of his hats upstairs, but it's not the trucker hat. It's the one that he used to do yard work in. It's like one of those big straw hats.
Yeah, the vibe I'm getting from the guy in the trucker cap seems to be one of having lived a good life and worked hard.
Yes.
And that maybe didn't quite know the kind of had that a little bit more of the sternness to him at times,
Mhm.
and more austerity than might have necessarily would like, but there was love there even in that austerity.
Mhm.
Because a lot of it, my sense is that a lot of it was he feared that if he didn't teach his kids that then they wouldn't be able to provide for themselves when he was no longer around.
Right. Yeah, that would be my dad. He wasn't so much he was stern, but he wasn't very like emotional, you know what I mean? Which
Yes.
I'm not either, so that's totally
Yes.
fine. But yes, he was very, very unemotional. It took a lot to either like make him angry or like make him really like excited and happy.
Mm.
But yeah, I literally I know everything that my dad did for me was because like everything he did was for me and to teach me. And if it wasn't for him, I would be I don't even know. Like he taught me everything, like how to do everything, because that's how his father was. That's how my grandfather was. My grandfather, up until like he never when he was sick, he was still like up doing stuff out in the yard doing stuff. And then when he finally was on the couch for like a week, we were all like, "You need to go to the hospital." And then that's when we found out that he had cancer, and then he passed away like a few months later. But from him laying on the couch, we knew that something was wrong. And that's what my father was too. My father got up every day. He would work 6, sometimes 7 days a week, got up every single day, didn't call off. Like both of them, very, very hard workers. And that's what they taught me. They taught me how to like take care of myself and how to, work hard.
Kind of that buck up even if when you're feeling down thing, because things have to get done anyway kind of
Yep.
mentality. I think some of it also, my sense with your grandfather was he knew that his time, if with what he had, was he had known the diagnosis before you did, I think,
Mm-hmm.
and he kind of didn't want you to be having to change the way
Right.
you interacted with him
Yeah,
because
that's how
knew
I
who
feel.
he
I
was
don't think
going.
I will ever let anyone know if I ever know that when my time is coming. You know what I mean? I would rather just not anyone know and just, enjoy my days with them.
Yes.
Like both my father and brother both passed unexpectedly. And although it was hard, I don't think I could have handled knowing that both of them were going to. So like I'm actually like it's not that it's easier, but I don't think I want to know that someone's time is ending. I would rather just enjoy my time with them, and then when it happens, it happens. So I'm glad we didn't know before that.
Yeah. Tearing up. Wanting to say it at somebody's graduation,
Mm-hmm.
and that really had an impact on you because he didn't show a lot of emotion.
Yep. Yeah, actually, I think that might be from my grandfather wasn't at my graduation. My grandmother and my uncle were, but I think that might be from my dad. My father was there,
Yeah.
and my mother was also there. They were divorced, and she made it like they just didn't get along, whatever. But I told her to wait 1 second while I went and talked to my dad, grandmother, and uncle. Went and talked to them, took pictures, turned back around, and she was gone. Her and her boyfriend had left because she figured I was just busy or whatever. That was my graduation, you know what I mean? And like she just turned around and walked away from me. And that really, really bothered me. And like I was just I think you see the graduation because I was going through pictures like just 2 weeks ago and my graduation pictures. And I, looking at them thinking like my mother just turned around and walked away and left on my graduation day because, she couldn't be bothered to wait 2 minutes while I talked to my father. And then I also graduated from a medical school. My father, I invited my father and one of my best friends. I didn't even invite my mom because I didn't even want, you know what I mean? Like my father supported me through everything and he was there through everything. And yeah, what he did for me means the world for me because he was the only supportive parent I had. And they're like they're some of the only pictures I have of him because everyone in my family hates their pictures being taken. So I have like a lot of graduation pictures with my dad.
But those pictures and that I see him tearing up with graduation, and my sense is the level of pride he had in you in that moment. And just, that was one of those times where he felt safe enough to express his emotions.
Yep.
Partially because he just couldn't hold it back because
Yeah.
he was that overwhelmed by what you'd accomplished and how proud he was of you.
Yeah, my dad supported everything, and even if he didn't say it, like I always knew that he was proud of me no matter what I did. And it's like I always knew that he was like the best dad, and like he, did the very best for me, but I never actually realized like just how much, because now that I'm left with my mother, who is not she's the complete opposite. Like I realized just how much he did for me, how much he supported me, and how much like he was proud of me. And he never had to say a word ever. He just showed it in everything he did. And it's hard.
He wants you to know that he's still there with you and still proud of you.
Thankfully, I've been learning to read the signs and the messages. My best friend, who's also my cousin, she did a Reiki session on me years ago and told me that she believed that I had some gifts, but I was blocking them, and it was due to my previous religious beliefs. But lately I started getting like all these signs, and I would get a sign and I would understand a message, and I thought I was like losing my mind, you know what I mean? So then I started like joining these groups and like reading and stuff, and then I started opening up some more, and now like I'll get a sign and then immediately understand like what the message is, you know what I mean? So it's like it definitely has taken a lot of heavy like weight of grief off, knowing that he is still here, and like that they're all still here, and that all I have to do is talk to them, and I need to allow them to. I need to just open up and let them help me.
If you have mediumship gifts, you may hear them as a chorus sometimes off to your one side, because like where I'm seeing it right now, it's kind of like all on the one side there.
Mm-hmm.
They're all kind of clustered there and hanging out with you.
Yeah.
So don't be surprised.
Music was a huge thing in our family. Like we all bonded over it. And my father, all of us are like super smart when it comes to music. I actually, what happened? Are you there? Hello? Sorry.
Yeah.
I actually want to try out for that Don't Forget the Lyric, because I know every lyric from every song over the last like 90 years or something. But I always knew if they would communicate, it would be through music, and I will always get a song and I'll know which one it was and exactly like what they're trying to tell me.
Well, I hope this reading has been helpful.
Yes, super helpful. Thank you. You guys are amazing. Like I had a reading with Nicole, and I always watched the live readings, and you guys are wonderful. Like I'm so thankful I joined this group, because you've been truly, truly wonderful.
Do we know what's going on with the whiteboards popping in, Hollis?
My brother also admitted to Nicole that he messes with
Yeah,
my
I'm
like
pretty sure.
Bluetooth and
It
my
was another
Wi-Fi.
bomber. They were trying to take over, and I was not allowing it, so I just booted them. All right. Well, thank you, Carrie. Thank you for
Thank
being
you.
willing to be read and being here. So anyway. Oh boy. Okay. Let's do one more, Jamie, since we were late and we've struggled, and at least one. We'll see how it goes, huh? Okay. So actually, my guides are asking for Hazel. Welcome, Hazel. I'm gonna ask you to unmute. There you go. All right.
Hi, Hollis. Hi, Jamie.
Oh, Hazel.
Hi.
I'm
Gosh, Gary got me tearful.
trying to see. I seem to see a couple of people around you. One seems to be a man.
Mhm.
His hair is dark, but there's some kind of what they call salt and pepper to it.
Mhm.
And then he seems to be the one that's like right to your what would be based on the flipping of the thing.
Mamoni,
right.
we're in
So behind-
Zoom.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you're
Um,
looking for a reading, it's best to come into Zoom.
Yeah.
And if you just scroll up a little
Like I
bit,
say,
there's a
salt and
link
pepper
to it.
hair,
Okay. Welcome, Mamoni.
kind of parted on the side a bit. As I'm seeing it anyway. The hair's relatively
And welcome
short,
to Nancy
not
as well.
real
Welcome, Nancy. I'm
short,
glad
but
you
relatively
tuned in,
short.
Nancy Garbett,
Um,
in the group. Glad you're here. And just want to let you know that we are in Zoom,
I
but
seem
I
to
will
get
watch and
the
interact out here to the best of my
sciences
ability.
and maths seem to be what I'm hearing. I'm not sure if that makes any sense because that could be a number of things, but
Um,
I'm
I
thinking
can't locate that for the moment.
what my when I hear sciences and maths, I oftentimes think like an engineering type of field or something that would be like precision and making of things, possibly.
Mm.
It can
Okay.
also sciences and maths could also be, I guess, medical professionals too, because of that. So
Yeah, we do have lots of scientists and engineers in the family, but they're all alive for the moment.
okay.
Yeah.
My guess is then this could be somebody who's ancestral or friend or more distant family member that has already crossed over. Or it could be that this person is trying to indicate a connection to one of the people that's in the science or math fields.
Yeah, I can think of one actually.
Some people refer to that as STEM fields, and that is
Mhm.
science, technologies, and maths. But what I'm getting from this guy, I'm seeming to feel like the pressure kind of in both chest and throat area. Did he by chance have pneumonia or something like that? Something that would affect both breathing and the throat area when he passed?
Yes, that would be my, gosh, I haven't thought of him for a while. That would be a paternal uncle. He died of lung cancer.
Okay. Did he have a
Yeah.
trach tube?
I have no clue because when he passed away, I wasn't anywhere near the hospital, unfortunately. But it is possible, yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense because like I'm getting like the pressure like all throughout this area. And if it's lung cancer, that would make sense. Because even if
Mhm.
even without a trach tube, the ability to breathe through that
Yeah.
whole affected. I get the sense from him that he's one of the people who serve as a guide for you. And I get the sense that there's possible aspects of things going on in your life that he is relevant to helping with at this point.
Yeah.
Is there some sort of maybe career type of things or educational type of things that would tie in with his knowledge field, maybe?
To be honest, I didn't know him really well. Um, so and I don't see how that would bridge to what I'm doing these days. If it is my uncle, I really haven't thought about him for years. He passed away a long, long time, and we weren't really that close. Um, so I can't even imagine, I can't remember what his profession was. I do feel sometimes my grandfather and my grandmother on my father's side, they both passed away, and my aunt, who was a second mom to me, and a cousin who took his life, uh, and feel a lot of guilt for not being,
I think
but I
that
feel their love. Yeah.
I think what you need to know there, because you've got a number of people there, and
Mhm.
this uncle, I get the sense that he is a spirit guide to you on your
Mhm.
journey. And as you find the aspects that he relates to, you'll know when it's him and when it's some of the others. With the cousin that you said it was a cousin who took his life.
Yeah. Yeah. He suffered from alcoholism
Mhm.
and depression, unfortunately. So,
He kind of wants you to know that he does not blame you. He is at peace. The peace that he couldn't find in life, he has found at this point.
mhm.
He wants you to find peace with it before you cross over. He knows you love him, and he loves you. And
I'm sorry. So sorry.
yes, he knows. He knows that you've been beating yourself up for not being there
Mhm.
and blaming yourself for things that you could not have done anything about. And he doesn't want that. He wants you to live your best life and be happy, because that's what he wanted in life, was to be happy.
Mhm.
And so he will do his best to help you to find the happinesses along your journey. Um, did your cousin do anything relating to painting?
Yeah, he was a he was sort of a handyman. He was a jack of all trades, master of none. He worked a lot. He did a lot of manual labor.
I seem to see him with a paintbrush and paint. And the words that I got were, you can paint your vision of the future. You can paint your dream house in your mind, and you can paint your reality. This is some of what he has learned after crossing
Hmm.
over. That, just as a house, when you go in and you make those changes, you paint it, it looks totally different than what it started out as.
Hmm.
And you have the tools to do it. You can paint your reality and create. You can change your circumstances to match what you envision.
Hmm.
So he wants you to do that as much as possible so that you can be as happy as possible, rather than feeling like you're stuck with the canvas or the walls that life has given you, because he felt like he was stuck with whatever walls life had given him. But as he's learned and gotten tools for the next time round, one of the biggest things that he's learned is life can be repainted.
Gosh, I was afraid you were going to say paint the house because I really don't have time. And my husband and I were thinking of just repainting the house, but that makes sense to me
may
better based on where I am right now.
He may also be indicating on that level as well, because oftentimes they have double meanings when there's things that they've heard you talking about, because they listen
Yeah.
sometimes. And
Yeah.
that when you choose your colors, if you paint, choose the
Mhm.
colors that make you happy.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Hope this has been helpful.
All right. How you feeling, Jamie?
I'm okay. I think I can probably do one more.
That's what I was wondering, but nobody's got. Oh, okay. That's what I was saying. Nobody's got their camera on. Oh, grave. Yeah, I'm not likely to choose you if you didn't have your camera on, by the way. For obvious reasons. Okay. I actually was feeling this just a minute ago, so let's go ahead and go with add spotlight.
Thanks,
This is
Steph.
Mia.
Okay. Okay. I thought you said Stephanie a second ago. I'm a little confused.
Hello.
Hello. Just trying to pick up the senses around you a bit. The thing I'm picking up right now, I'm picking up a lot of grief. You've lost a number of people,
Yep.
5 or 6 within the past year to 2 years, at least.
Not that many in the last 2 years, but over the last maybe 8 years.
Okay.
Yep. But yeah, I lost one in the last 6 months.
But they all the grief they've all been close connections that have made a major impact.
Yes.
Yeah. So sometimes it feels like it's just happened, even after a bit of time when it's such a loss. And
Yep.
that's okay. Can you zoom your camera out a little bit? Oftentimes I see things around people when I see more space.
Sure.
Was one of those people a man, possibly your husband or boyfriend or somebody?
My brother.
Brother, it could be brother.
Yeah.
Was he by chance in the military at some point?
No.
Because the outfit he was wearing that I was seeing, I'm seeing someone with a possible outfit that I would classify as like possibly military or police or something like that. I don't know if that resonates with anybody that you've lost or not.
Not that I can think of.
So yeah, I'm not sure who that person is that I'm picking up on then. It's possible that if you look back in ancestry or something that's
Someone
someone
down the
that's
line.
adjacent to, yeah, there's oftentimes there's people who kind of like usher others in type of deal.
Yep.
Your brother, was he kind of a quiet type of person? Can it, because the guy I'm picking up on now is kind of more quiet type,
Yeah, he was quiet. Yep.
kind of he could seem very shy though once he got to know somebody.
Yep.
If there was a specific topic he was passionate about, it was almost like night and day contrast because he could go on quite a bit when he felt comfortable.
Yes. Yep.
He seems to want you to know that he is happy and content.
Yep.
Was his loss related to medication or drugs?
Yes.
Mm.
Yep.
I was kind of getting that sense that I get like right in the chest region that where there's palpitations where that you oftentimes I associate with like an overdose of some sort.
Not. He didn't have an overdose.
Or where it's
Took-
a chemical
it-
a
it-
medical reaction type of things where it's
yeah. It sort of
can't
led
breathe.
up to what he did to himself. Taking stuff that day, that night, that day.
Mm.
Yep.
My sense is that he was not in his right mind when he
No.
passed.
No, he
Um,
wasn't. Yep.
Like I said, I'm getting like that fast and flutteriness in that where it's like the chest is like racing.
Yep.
With like I say, I associate oftentimes with drug overdoses or medical interactions where things aren't working quite right together.
Yep.
I also have felt that sometimes when people are experiencing a mental break as well. And sometimes the mental breaks are tied to medications or drugs, but sometimes they just are a case of the mental well-being isn't there at the time.
Yep.
I get the sense he was actually a very intellectual type of person.
Yep.
Was he college educated? Or
He did do like a TAFE course. Yep.
my sense is that he found that sometimes his intellect and being a little bit more shy, that people just didn't always connect. And so he felt very alone at times.
Yep.
And that then tended to lead to him not trying to reach out because he just felt like, what's the point if people won't understand me?
Yep. Yeah, he was very shy. Yep.
One thing he wants you to know is to remember that it is okay to ask for help. I get the
Yep.
sense that you may have been raised to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps type of mentality, where it's like you got to handle your own stuff and seem strong type of thing.
Yep.
And that mentality can be lethal when one isn't getting the support they need. So
Yep.
he wants you to do better at taking care of yourself
Yep.
by reaching out when you need assistance.
Yep.
You are able to find support among the people around you.
Yep.
So he really wants you to find the support system you need
Yep.
where you need it, and don't be afraid to ask for help.
Okay. Thanks.
Are you working on a new job or something? You're trying
Not at the moment.
Okay. Because I was just it seemed like there was something that he was seemed to be indicating, which I would have associated with a job, but it could be something else as well. That what plans you have and goals you have, you
Yep.
can reach. You're capable of reaching it, and he believes in you.
Yep.
Don't talk yourself into believing that you can't do it,
Okay.
because you can.
All right. Thanks.
Hope this has been helpful for you.
It has. Thank you, Jamie. Thanks.
Pokey pokey. Pokey pokey. All right. So how you doing, Jamie? Are we finished? Think we're done? Probably tired, right?
Yeah, I think so. I might be able to do one more.
All right. Well, interestingly, Gina, you were here. Are you still here? Can you turn on your camera for me? I can't let you in. I can't spotlight you unless you. Oh, video is disabled. Yeah, sorry about that. Give me just a second. Huh. Well, that's weird. Okay. There you go, Gina. Now you should be able to start your video. There you go. And then I'm gonna add your spotlight.
Hi.
Gina was saying in the chat, Jamie, that she's lost someone who was in the military and was a policeman.
Okay.
And Hazel is expressing lots of gratitude for you, by the way, in the chat. Just so I'm not sure if you've had a chance to look at it. So, okay.
No, a chance to see the chat, for the most part. Gina, yeah, the person that I was seeing has brownish hair, or brownish or black hair. It's kind of dark hair, and yeah, he definitely seemed, an interesting person that definitely caught my attention there. So one of the things that I'm getting from him, it's kind of, I'm getting it, it's weird. I'm getting, when I see him, I'm getting a tingle at the base of my skull. I don't know if that has any resonance to you, relating to maybe how he parted, or to some sort of condition he may have had.
I believe he fell when he had his heart attack.
Okay, that makes sense. Because this is the occipital area back here, and
Because he was found laying on his back.
yeah, probably had some impact there, I would think then. So that's the area, like just at the base of the skull. So yeah. My sense is it happened pretty suddenly.
Yes, it did.
And
There was no symbolic.
and what I'm getting is he didn't have the time to feel the pain, really. It was like sudden whoop, point, gone. So
Yep.
he did not suffer. And so he seems to indicate that if he had to go, that was probably one of the better ways, because it was a fast and less
Yep.
pain.
He went on his favorite holiday, the 4th of July.
Yeah. And I get the sense that, he was kind of pretty much ready to go at any moment, to some degree, because of the fields he had worked in. He had seen a bunch of deaths and knew, and also had seen people who, had escaped death in the military, only to have something stupid kill them.
Yeah, probably.
And so it was, so it's like one of those things of, you can, I know that I can go at any time, so I'm going to live to the fullest and do my best to make a difference while I'm here.
Hmm.
I seem to see, did he do any of the things like where the officers go into the schools and stuff and talk to the
Um,
kids? Did
I believe he did, but he also talked to them just when they were in the neighborhood.
I seem to see him kind of as a kind of what they used to do back when we were younger, where the police would do more neighborhood policing and
Yep, he did a lot of that.
teaching the kids about, the friendly policeman and y- police person, and some of the things that they might need to know in life
Yep.
in general. And I get the sense that those were some of his favorite moments.
Oh, yes. He'll tell those stories years later.
He wants you to know that he's still there with you. He loves
Mhm.
you. And I seem to also see something with the lights. Is he doing a bit of this stuff? The flicker lights every once in a while?
Maybe he does. Maybe also my husband does too.
Because I seem to see a bit of that going on.
Yep.
But yeah, he makes his presence known. I also get the sense with your husband. Were they friends?
They would have been.
I get the sense that on the other side they kind of enjoy kind of hanging out a bit.
Yeah. They had a similar humor.
But they have similar music tastes too.
Um, Possibly, but one of my other uncles that passed, they definitely had the same music taste.
I seem to see some musical see some music signs coming at you. If you haven't gotten them already, be prepared for some.
My husband was a musician,
Okay. Guitar?
guitar and ukulele.
Because I was suddenly seeing an image of a guitar. Yeah.
Yeah. He would have been really good if he had had hearing in both ears.
I can understand that. I have profound deafness, so it's like I rely on lip reading and such and sign language. So yeah. Um, but
He had almost perfect pitch.
I'm hearing that the more important thing was that he enjoyed it.
Yes, yes. And the cat loved listening to it.
Mm.
Would just sit at his feet and listen.
He wants you to know that he's proud of you.
Mhm.
You have a boy?
No,
Mm. I was seeing some sort of what I would perceive as a little boy, but
yeah, he's up there with a little boy.
okay.
My niece's son, and he keeps telling me he takes care of him.
Yes.
He lived 5 minutes.
Well, your husband has plenty that he's doing on the other side, taking
Yeah,
care of and hanging out with some friends and family.
because he wanted to have a baby, but he got sick and we couldn't.
Well, he's content and he's there for you when you need him.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Well done, Jamie. I think you did a great job. Great job. So anyone that was here in the beginning, sorry about that. I've deleted all those videos and had to restart the live, and so hopefully it's okay. I'm sorry about that. Just one reason that Zoom is not often used, but I recognize that it's easier for Jamie. I don't know, Jamie, maybe one day we'll go back to trying the live broadcast, because at least I can control who's on my camera. You know? So, all right. So, well, I appreciate all of you. And I appreciate all of you, and let you know that I usually like to try to announce things, let you know what's going on. So, what's going on right now is there'll be another live later tonight with Tabby. She's new to Psychic Insights group, so if you haven't met Tabby yet, she'll be live tonight at 7 Mountain Time. You'll have to convert that. If you look in the events area, Facebook usually converts it to your time zone. It sends what time zone you're in. There's also, I also just announced a couple of classes. So if you want to learn how to connect on your own, you want to do I'm doing a practice group later this month. I'm actually doing 3 of them. I'll be doing once a week. So hopefully if you are interested in that, it's just $22. It's not expensive. So if you want to learn how to connect the classes then, and I think I'm live tomorrow. So that's what's coming up for you. There'll be a guided meditation for In Bulk released with Bright Hawk and I. If you haven't caught the new blog post, the guide to mediumship, if you look in the group, you can find it. There's a blog that I just posted last night about, it's like a guide to mediumship, and it does cover how to connect. It does have some ideas about how to connect for yourself. And so, because everyone can connect, you have to be able to connect, because we all need to be able to communicate with our spirit guides. It's just that modern day, and along with religion and modern day belief systems, we've kind of moved away from that. And so we just have to relearn. That's part of the mass awakening that's happening right now, is people are relearning how to connect to the other side. So take a look at that blog post. Inside the blog post, there's also a link to that beautiful video. It's a guided meditation that Bright Hawk and I did together with Bright Hawk's Ham Pan Vibes. So you can also grab a hold of that. And, make sure you're following the Psychic Insights page so you can keep up, or Jamie's page. Jamie Angel has a page as well. Make sure you're following those pages so that you can catch what's going on for us, so that you get notifications when, because if I announce Jamie's live several days ahead of time, you might want to come back. Now, if you got a reading today with Jamie, please try to write a review in the group. We appreciate that. We all deeply appreciate a review, because you know what? I just did some reels about this. Mediums are human beings, in case you didn't know. And we like to receive validation as much as everyone else. And like, we can sit here and go, oh my God, am I crazy? Am I making this up? And that's half the job of being a medium, frankly. That's at least half of the process of just learning to trust yourself. And that's why we're having practice groups later this month, because you have to learn how to trust yourself. And the only way to do that is to practice. And so practice will be happening that later on this month. There's 3 of them. It's just $22. And in the meantime, when you give validation to a medium, you're helping to empower them with their gift. So you are as much part of the story as the medium. Don't ever think it's just the medium, because that's BS. And you should be open. When you go to get a reading, stay open. Be open to the messages. The more open you are, the more likely you're to get more information. And even if you reveal a whole bunch of information will probably still tell you something you didn't say. Okay. So that's how we validate. And it does, just because somebody reveals a whole bunch of stuff doesn't mean that now the reading is invalid or something. It actually just means that they were really open. And then the medium's like, oh, now I'm sensing something else that was completely unrelated to what you were saying. Okay. So you can't tell us everything about that person in 10 minutes. I assure you cannot. So, and a private reading with Jamie, you can schedule written or video readings with Jamie. Since Jamie is available to do written readings, we want to make sure our readings are accessible for all people, even people that might not be able to hear so well, or people in other situations. For some reason, you can't do a video reading. Whatever that is, go ahead and connect with Jamie. You can get a reading with Jamie at their website. And you should be able to, I put it in the chat before, but I'll do it again. So you can book with Jamie Angel at Psychic Insights. And you know, the great thing about Psychic Insights is that Psychic Insights is trustworthy, because first of all, we'll just give you your money back. If you come for a reading and it sucks, we're just going to give you your money back. Okay. So like, we just don't even want your money. Okay. We don't want it. We're just like, oh, it didn't go good for you. Here you go. Have it back. Even if we think, even if you might be trying to scam the system or something like that, we're still just going to give it back to you, because then it's your karma, right? So if it actually was a good reading and you're just lying to get your money back, then you know what? It doesn't even matter. We don't even want it, because then it's just dirty, right? Okay. So we pride ourselves on integrity, and we pride ourselves on good readings. So we want you to walk away feeling good in your heart. I think Carrie said it earlier. She had a reading with Nicole, and it doesn't matter what reader you come to, or what class you come to, or what coaching session you come to. Jamie also does mindfulness coaching. So, you know, you could catch some coaching to help you with grief. It's helpful if you have somebody to talk to, in my humble opinion. With 30 years experience of dealing with death and things like that, I personally think it's priceless. And I think medium readings are great. So please post your reviews in the group. Please book and take a look, make sure you watch the events area of the group. That's a great way, or the page. That's a great way in case you miss the post about such and such event. You'll be able to see in the events what's coming up for you. Okay. So lots of stuff going on this month, especially with me finishing my surgery and ready to full speed ahead. All right. So Jamie, did you have anything you want to add?
Just that I'm, looking forward to working with people individually. I also am considering doing some group coaching type of things that might give people an opportunity to try it in a group setting, because sometimes actually having a group of people can be helpful, because when you're in one-on-one, you can learn from just the person that's working with you. But when it's a group, you get some side coaching info as well, that it's like, oh, they go through this too, and this is how. So it can be very helpful, because some things you might not think of to ask your coach, somebody else may bring up, and it can be helpful. So I'm looking forward to talking with you all. And we'll see you again.
All right, everyone. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you later tonight. Bye-bye.
Are you seeking guidance on your spiritual journey? Need help with a vexing problem? Missing a loved one and looking for answers? Look no further than Psychic Insights, a small trusted psychic service offering mediums, psychics, and spiritual coaching. This service is managed by Hollis Taylor, a gifted psychic medium, astrologer, and a compassionate coach. We are dedicated to helping you navigate your spiritual awakening. At Psychic Insights, we provide medium readings and psychic insight to help you plan for tomorrow and make choices for today. Find the support you need, compassionate grief coaching, and astrological insights to help you spiritually grow and transform. Our professional services include well-managed schedules, recorded sessions, and reliable psychic mediums ready to facilitate your transformational experience. Discover more at psychicinsights.life.